Why does Lexapro take 4 to 6 weeks to work? Let's break down what's happening in your brain. So, you've been taking Lexapro for 2 weeks, and nothing's changed. Here's why that's normal. If you're watching this video, you've probably just started Lexapro, and you're wondering when you'll finally feel better. Today, I'm breaking down the exact biochemistry of why Lexapro, and all SSRIs, need 4 to 6 weeks to reach full effectiveness. And stick around until the end, because I'll explain why this seemingly frustrating wait time is actually your brain doing something remarkable. Lexapro, or Escitalopram, its generic name, is one of the most commonly prescribed SSRIs in the world. It's FDA approved for major depressive disorder and generalized anxiety disorder. And while the timeline I'm about to explain applies to most SSRIs, today we're focusing specifically on what happens in your brain when you take Lexapro. Here's what most people don't realize. Lexapro isn't just about increasing serotonin levels. If it were that simple, you'd feel better within hours. But your brain is far more sophisticated than that. What's actually happening is a complete rewiring of your brain's chemistry, and that takes time. The moment you take your first dose of Lexapro, it immediately blocks your brain's recycling system for serotonin messages. Within hours, these messages start piling up, like a backed-up drain. So why don't you feel better right away? Here's why. Because your brain's serotonin receptors are temporarily overloaded, so your brain actually shuts some of them down while it figures things out. This is why some people feel worse in the first week or two. Your brain is essentially recalibrating. And this is where the magic starts to happen. Your brain begins growing and adapting. The key process here is called neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to reorganize itself. New neural connections start forming, like plants growing in a garden. Gene expression changes. Brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, increases. This is essentially fertilizer helping those plants grow. Your memory center, the hippocampus, actually starts sprouting new brain cells. Yes, Lexapro triggers this growth in adults. By week 3 or 4, most people start noticing the first real improvements. Maybe sleep gets better. Maybe anxiety decreases slightly. These are signs your brain is rebuilding. By week 4 to 6, your brain chemistry reaches a new equilibrium. The neuroplasticity changes become more stable. Your receptor sensitivity normalizes. This is when most people experience the full therapeutic benefit: improved mood, better emotional regulation, reduced anxiety. For Lexapro specifically, some people notice anxiety symptoms improve before depression symptoms. This is because Lexapro tends to be particularly effective for anxiety, and those neural pathways may adapt slightly faster. Several factors affect how quickly you respond to Lexapro specifically. Things like genetic differences in how your liver metabolizes Lexapro, specifically variations in your liver enzymes. Your starting dose, your baseline serotonin receptor density, how quickly your brain forms new neural connections, and other medications you may be taking. Here's something else to know. Different parts of your brain adapt at different speeds when taking Lexapro. Your prefrontal cortex, which handles decision-making, 2 to 4 weeks. Your hippocampus, involved in memory and learning, 4 to 6 weeks. Your limbic system, which regulates emotions, 4 to 8 weeks. This is why you might notice some improvements before others. You might sleep better before your mood lifts, or your anxiety might decrease before your motivation returns. It's all part of the same process, just on different timelines in different brain regions. Here's the bottom line, that 4 to 6 week wait for Lexapro to reach full effectiveness isn't a design flaw. It's your brain carefully rebuilding its neural architecture. Lexapro doesn't just mask symptoms, it helps create lasting changes in how your brain processes emotions and stress. And those changes? They take time. but they're worth the wait. Now I'd love to hear from you. What was your own Lexapro timeline like? Did you notice changes at week 2, 4, or 6? Drop your experience in the comments below. And if you're taking a different SSRI like Zoloft or Prozac, I've got videos on those timelines too. Check the description. And remember, what you're feeling in these early weeks isn't failure. It's your brain healing at its own pace. If you found this helpful, hit that subscribe button. I break down the science of mental health medications every week.